message, because the first video that I did, I feel like it was full of a lot of like information, right? But I wanted to make sure that I zoned in on the message, because for me it's really clear that you get the energetic messages. I need to be able to explain how energy flows, but it's also important for me to make sure that you get the energetic message, not just the archetype version of the message, right? So we're going to simplify this message. Okay, so this is, you can kind of think of this as a bonus video. All right, so we're going to go ahead and sound the 4 tones. All right, first tone is going to be fire element. So if you are fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, okay, this is going to be the tone for those fire signs. If you are not a fire sign, the way that you would apply this energy or this archetype is going to be based on your willpower, as well as movement or action that may be necessary or required in your experience, aka life. Okay, next tone you're going to hear is water tone. Okay, whether you are a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces, all right? If you are not a water sign, you want to apply this element to your emotions, to your intuition, as well as your feelings. And as we go through these videos, you're going to learn that your feelings are really frequency indicators that you can navigate towards, okay? Next, what you're going to here is the ear tone, right? So whether you are a Gemini, whether you are a Libra or an Aquarius, okay? If you are not a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, you are going to apply this tone to your thinking, okay? So we're talking about your thoughts, your decision-making process, your logical process, okay? Now, last but not least, you're going to hear a 4th tone. That tone is going to be for the wonderful earth elements, okay? So if you are not a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, you're going to apply this energy or this archetype to your physical things, okay? So the money, the house, the car, the bills, you know, that type of stuff, okay? Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and sound the 4 tones so we can zone in on this bonus message from Neptune and Jupiter, okay? First tone. Second tone. Third tone. Fourth tone. Okay, all of those tones were pretty clear, and I don't have to sound any tones. I did notice, however, in this particular video, we're going to tap into the fire tone and the air tone. So that's your willpower, your thoughts, okay, and your action. Your willpower, your thoughts, okay, action driven, okay, so as well as movement, all right, because those tones, although they were clear, they were not as sharp as the emotional tone, or aka water element, and the earth element, okay? So with that being said, we know Jupiter is coming through with growth and opportunity, right? This is a beautiful energy of expansion. It also deals with adventure, traveling, your morals, your ethics, okay? We also know that Neptune comes in with energy of using your imagination, transcending past things that may have you stuck. It's all about your spiritual awakening. It's all about maybe even if you're not doing the work, escaping, right? This energy from Neptune can also be chaotic because you don't integrate the experiences and the lessons that you learned, okay? So we're looking to see exactly maybe where you may have to transcend past illusions, or where you may need to see things clearly, okay? As well as what needs to be expanded for growth and opportunities to step in, all right? So first, we're going to take a look at how you should be perceiving this energy coming in, all right, this expansion, this growth. We're also going to look at how you need to feel about this, right? And then we're also going to look and see what you need to understand about this message, okay? All right, so give us the message that Jupiter wants us to know. How do we need to, and I'm going to put these back to see if they jump out, okay? So into the unknown steps out, as well as moonlight, right? going to put those back. And we're going to do this again. Okay? What situation is Sagittarius energy trying to get us to perceive and look at? Okay, what are we looking at? What is Sagittarius trying to get us to see, right? What is Sagittarius trying to get us to pay attention to? Give us the energy of Sagittarius. Give us the energy of Sagittarius. Give us the energy of Sagittarius. Details, 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 okay? So we know we need to pay attention to details, right? We need to be able to perceive details. Ooh, and I'm just going to say also here, I don't think you can see it, but it says clarity. Okay? Sagittarius is saying, watch your perception. Make sure you have all of the details before you take any type of action, any type of movement, right? Before you create a narrative, you need to make sure that you're paying attention to the details, okay? All right, what is Cancer's energy trying to tell us? What is Cancer trying to tell us? How should we, what do we need to pay attention to in our feelings? Okay, 2 of them popped out, okay? We got something facing the future, right? This is coming to life. So there is things unfolding and things coming to life, okay? We need to feel. And I think Magic Prayer popped out also in the original message, okay? Okay. All right. What does Pisces want us to understand with this message? Let us know what Pisces is trying to get us to understand with this message. Let us know what Pisces is trying to get us to understand in this message. What is Pisces trying to get us to understand in this message? What is Pisces trying to get us to understand in this message? What is Pisces trying to get us to understand in this message? What is Pisces trying to get us to understand? Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Cool beans. Let me just thumbs up. Perfect. Okay. Pisces. What is Pisces energy? What is Pisces trying to get us to understand with this message? What is Pisces energy? What is Pisces trying to get us to understand in this message? Give me 1 card. All right. Well, 2 of them want to jump out. So Pisces is trying to get us to understand movement. And it's also trying to get us to understand mountain. All right. This lets me know a lot. We're going to clarify this, okay? All right, so Sagittarius is telling us there's something about details that we need to pay attention to, okay? There's something about details in this energy that we need to pay attention to, especially if it's something that we want growth to come in, okay? So clarify details for us. Clarify details. Clarify details. Seed time. You're planting something. Clarify seeds. What are they planted? What's being planted? Mercury showing up communication, travel, self-worth. We've been dealing a lot with self-worth, okay? All right, we've been dealing a lot with self-worth. And I feel like the details they ask me to pay attention to here is self-worth, exactly. How much of your energy you give out. Remember, your energy is your currency, right? Remember, and fire energy has to do with your willpower or any action or reaction that you're going to be taking. And from what I'm looking at here, just watch how you react to things because we're in retrograde season. I'm still feeling like allow your best move to be your next move. You should not be moving towards anything right now without all of the details. You should not be saying yes to anything without all of the details. You should not be committing to anything without all of the details because your next move should be your best move, okay? Coming to life. What's coming to life? Your magic prayer. We went over this in the original video, right? I expressed to you, well, when you are in prayer, okay, I expressed to you that you should not be asking. You should be commanding, okay? You should be commanding, okay? I am grateful that I have I am grateful that I've experienced I'm great, and it should be in the present time. I don't care if you don't have it or not. It should be present time gratefulness, okay? You should not be saying, oh, universe, can you please give? And universe, can you please? No. No, 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 no. Okay? Whatever you are going to be speaking forth, you need to perceive it as it already is, as you deserve it. Okay? Sagittarius is about perception. And the perception that Sagittarius wants you to know is pay attention to the details because you deserve this. Allow your next move, the next action that you take to be your best move because you are worthy. You deserve this. Okay? Cancer wants you to know that you need to be able to feel like you deserve this. It's coming into your future, but you're going to have to be able to feel like you're worthy of this. Clarify, coming into, yep. Whenever this nostalgia card pops in, this nostalgia card reminds me of like tapping into your inner child, right? This is memories. And for some of us, the memories that we have of the inner child can be memories that's trauma filled, right? But I feel like if you are on this channel, you've been doing your work, right? So the memories right now that you should be honing in for your inner child should not be a memory of protecting the inner child, right? The memory now you should be pouring into the inner child should be love. Should be love, okay? Your inner child should be functioning on love now, okay? Because you recognize at this point there is an essence of self-worth, okay? So your inner child should be coming into a place where you know you are worthy. I don't care what you did, right? There's a worthiness here, okay? So the epiphany, and look at this. Come on, man. I can't make this up. There's a breakthrough happening. Your next move is your best move. But you got to be able to see that and feel like that. Now, and listen, it is not to say that you are not going to experience times throughout the day, maybe where emotions of doubt creep in. Emotions of limitation creep in, right? Your job is not to get rid of those emotions. Your job is to watch those emotions come in and go out just like a tide. Just like the tide comes in, you know, and go out. And I explained to you in the original video that the thoughts, any negative thoughts, if you allow that tide to come in and flow out, it's really 90 seconds, okay? It peaks 90 seconds in. So if you can take a breath for 90 seconds, especially when you feel like your mind is looping negative things, just take a breath for 90 seconds. If you take a breath for 90 seconds, after that 90 seconds, you change states. Think something positive. Right? And you know, and I really want you guys to know this too, because part of the mystery of prayer, right? And let me just let you know this. And it's not by mistake that these are coming together. Nothing happens by mistake. Part of the mystery of why people pray and don't get, use manifestation techniques and don't get what they're asking for is because you have not invoked the emotion of feeling it into being. You cannot experience anything in the physical world that you do not think you are worthy of having. Okay? So feelings, remember the wheel, the 12 wheel of the zodiac sign, you need to master Cancer's energy of being able to feel things into being. This is why you need to be able to understand that your feelings are really frequency navigators to let you know if you need to change states, right? Because you can't be feeling, okay, so let me give you an example, right? So say, for example, that you're over here perceiving, right? You now perceive that you are worthy of this breakthrough. You are worthy of whatever this good thing is, right? You're worthy of whatever this good thing is. This is your perception. You sit, you meditate, right? You can see it. You use your imagination. I mean, Neptune and Jupiter is Neptune and Jupiter, okay? So you can see it, right? But then you come over here and in your emotional body, you don't feel it. You don't feel it, right? So, although you're over here in your meditative space, viewing it in meditation, but you have not given yourself permission yet in the feeling realm, you don't feel like you're worthy of it. By law, energetically, you cannot get that thing. If you don't feel like you're worthy of that thing, by universal law, you can't experience that thing, right? So what happens is you would experience little breakthroughs, right? So what's going to happen is, because you're meditating, right? Because you're given two different signals, right? You're given a signal of, okay, I'm excited about getting this because I can see it, right? But you're also sending out a signal of insecurity. So they kind of like phase cancel each other out. So you will get something coming in that's beautiful and you get excited, but then nothing happens for a month or two because you still don't feel like you're worthy. If you want consistent manifestation, you consistently have to feel worthy. That's how this works. If you want consistent manifestation, you have to consistently feel worthy of whatever it is you are on the road to manifesting. Okay? Let me also explain this. It works both ways, not just in a positive aspect, right? So this is why you can be over here imagining something different or perceiving something different, right? But because you're feeling like you're not worthy of it, the universe is still going to grant you that in which you feel. Okay? So if you feel like you always going to be broke and the bills always going to be piling up, no matter how much you see yourself in a big, beautiful house, right? Listen to how this could happen. You could get that big, beautiful house, but you're always going to be experiencing a lot of bills and a lot of lack, right? Because your feelings and your perceptions are not aligned. So therefore, you're sending mixed signals to the universe. So yeah, you could get that big house, but also with that big house, you're not going to experience abundance, right? Consistently, because you don't feel like you're worthy of it, or you feel like bills are always there. You're never going to get out of the bill cycle. Okay? Be mindful. Your mental perception or your imagination of something, if it's not fueled with your emotion of that thing. Okay, maybe I should put it this way. Your mental perception of perceiving a thing to be true or not true, depending on the details, right? And your emotional fuel that you give to that perception is going to determine how that experience plays out in your life, right? So if you're fueling it with insecurity, anger, lack, right? You're going to experience those things. All right, so all right. Pisces wants you to understand that there's movement needed because there may still be some mountains that you have to overcome. And let me just say this, okay? Everything is symbology. Everything is symbology, okay? There is movement that you may need to take. But the movement that I'm seeing here you may need to take is you're going to have to pay attention to your emotions because of this moon energy popping up here. But once you pay attention to your emotions, you're then going to have to pay attention to what you speak, right? Your emotions, you know how they talked about the power of life and death is in the power of the tongue? As a man thinketh and speaketh, so it is. Okay? So just be mindful. Not only do you need to get all of the details before you make any decisions, you also have to feel like you're worthy of the things in which you're moving towards, okay? This is why they keep saying allow your next move to be your best move, because you're being given the tools and how to make this happen, right? We've been working on this all week, right? You've been releasing, you've been letting go. There is nothing but opportunity here for you, but you need to know thyself and you need to be clear about how you want this to unfold. You need to be clear on how you feel about this thing, okay? You need to be clear that you have all of the understanding that you need. Okay, I can't make this up. What did I tell you earlier this was about? This was about anything that you committed yourself to. And for some of you, you just walk through that energy until death do us part. And we're not even talking about a physical death. We're talking about emotional, mental, spiritual. This don't even have to be money. This could be any situation that you committed to, right? Where death is now doing you apart. Meaning that you have to disconnect from anything that you committed yourself to that is not energetically aligning with where you're resonating. Right? And we talked about that. Pay attention to the details. When the water energy shows up, this energy is making sure you're paying attention to your intuition and you're not just going on emotions. Be clear about how you want it to move, where you're not just going with your emotions, right? Allow your emotions to be clear. First, you have to perceive it, because if you don't perceive it correctly, then your emotions might not line up, okay? Emotions may not line up, which means that you need to take accountability for your stuff. It can't be everybody's fault. It can't. And remember, we talked about this. Some people are walking around here with self-entitled energy where they don't think that they have to do the work. Clarify, guarded, and closed off. You are guarded. You are closed off to anything that brings in any type of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm really feeling the word dysfunction popping here, right? But you are closed off to any commitment on anyone that is dysfunctional, because you are in a place of healing. And remember how we talked about your inner child? And remember how we talked about your inner child needs love now, right? You are aware that you can protect your inner child now. You are aware of that. So we don't have to do the protection thing, right? Now you need to tap into loving your inner child, okay? Allow your next move to be your best move. And the way that you're making your next move your best move is by paying attention to the details, making sure that your emotions and your perception of this thing line up, especially whatever you've committed yourself to. Allow your yes to be yes and your no's to be no's, okay? Do not move when you're too emotional. Breathe, pause, take a step for at least 90 seconds before responding to anything. Allow your next move to be your best move, especially in this retrograde energy. Okay? Unexpected. Come on now. Any unexpected disharmony, any unexpected triggers, right, now needs integration. Because you should be aware right now of what brings disharmony, what triggers you, and where the conflict lies. Because we pretty much been going over this for about a week now, right? We're in retrograde energy, so the unexpected storm could be somebody coming in with their bullshit. And I think I said that in the last video. I kept hearing the storm back up on my bullshit, right? Be mindful for any unexpected triggers that may come up that you thought you've worked on that you may still need to integrate, right? And integration is simply just learning the lesson and seeing the role that you may have played in the thing. Simply, if even the role is just giving more of your energy, or AKA your attention, to something that you shouldn't have. You know how you just know how some people's going to react or what some people's going to say right before they even say or react, because especially if they're not doing their work, right? Some people are just argumentative, right? So you know, going in to explain to them that the sky is blue, they're going to find something to argue about the sky being blue, right? So the question is, are you going to allow yourself to be triggered by this person's, poking the bear type energy? Or are you going to be able to recognize, okay, all right, I need to breathe for 90 seconds. I need to reevaluate the details of this situation. I need to really see how I feel about this situation. And then I need to make sure that I understand it clearly, right? Because I need to vet this energy, right? Now, remember, when we're vetting energy, we're taking a look to see, are you walking in energy where you're practicing victimhood or you're practicing being victorious, right? Are you walking in energy where you're embracing things, right? Or are you walking in energy where you're trying to escape a thing, right? Are you walking in energy where you are trying to transcend the thing? Or you walking in energy where you're still in the toxic shit that you've been in for years, right? Vet that energy and vet the energy of the people around you. Okay, are you dealing with a person that's a victim, or are you dealing with a positive person that can oversee the victory or the lesson in things, right? Are you dealing with a person that you know they don't try to embrace the lesson? You know they always trying to find an escape, which means that you're gonna be the escape victim. You're gonna be the person to blame. Everything's gonna be your fault, right? Are you dealing with that type of person? Or you dealing with somebody that's toxic versus somebody that transcends and does the work, that transmute energy and can find the good and the lessons in things? Allow your next move to be your best move. You should be on the point right now where you are the one taking action for your own experiences, not reacting to your own experiences based on other people's energy and not taking accountability for their shit. Allow your next move to be your best move. But you're going to have to do the details first. Get the details first. Get the details first. Okay? Get all the details first before you make a thing, because right now this is about loving your inner child. Right now this is about your growth. This is about your expansion. Right now this is about building and creating the experience that you want to experience. We talked about this years ago, right? People are not doing mentally and emotionally well. We even went over that energy earlier in this week where people's self-entitlement is pretty insane right now. Pretty insane. The self-entitlement is real out here. The lack of integrity and the lack of people doing their work is real out here. People would much rather say it's your fault than to say, I'm sorry. Get all the details. Once you have the details, allow your next move to be your best move. And everybody don't need to know what you're doing or how you're doing it. Just so you know. Okay? All right, my love. I appreciate you guys tapping on in. All right? So y'all know the deal. You want to go ahead and do something kind for yourself because you absolutely should. All right? And you want to do something kind for somebody else. Not because you should, but because you can. All right? Happiness is contagious. Joy is contagious. A smile is contagious. All right? So go ahead and spread your joy, your love, and your smile. All right, my wonderful soul traveling gurus. I will speak to you guys in the next video. Message and transmission is over, my loves.